I worked hard to build a perfect life. I moved to a beautiful country. I bought a beautiful apartment. I was going to trips to really popular destinations. Everything just looked great on paper. But why wasn't I happy? Every time I was seeing myself reaching something which is associated with success, I was wondering, doesn't it really improve me, improve my well-being, my feeling of belonging in this world? It was just a biggest lie which I was told as a child. So when it came to choosing a career, I decided to become a software developer. I was interested in that, I wouldn't lie, but my main reason of choosing this career was money and demand. So it was many years ago, and that time the tech just started growing. It was quite a boom that time, and this role was looking really promising, and as I see, it was until recent time, as we know, but that time it was a good choice. Did I ask myself if I enjoyed it? Well, honestly, I enjoyed it a bit, but that was not essential. The essential was to get a good pay. And as soon as I started working, I realized that it's not exactly what I expected. However, I just pushed through. I didn't know what else can I find with such a good pay. And for me, again, coming from such a poor family, I was just fascinated that I can earn money just by working. So for me, it was a no-brainer, and I just kept pushing harder and trying to learn things which I maybe wasn't so passionate about, just to reach that certain level of success which I mentioned in the beginning. However, job by job, I was getting burned out. That time I wasn't understanding what's going on. I was thinking maybe I'm just staying for too long in one place. Maybe I need to change job more often. And at some point I realized, oh, maybe it's because I want to just work in a product company and have some sort of feeling of meaning in what I do. And I moved to a different country for working in a startup. So right now I am in Sweden. I think the biggest lesson I learned so far, that it wasn't the country and it wasn't the company's product, it was actually the job. But it took me a long time to understand that something was off, and at some point I decided, you know what, maybe I'm feeling not so happy because I haven't achieved my financial goals. For example, I haven't bought an apartment. I was thinking, so maybe I just need to reach my goals and then I will feel better, then I will feel happier. I decided to buy an apartment, and I took the biggest loan possible, the biggest loan the bank could give me, just to, as I thought, get out of this poverty mindset, as I thought. So I was thinking that living frugally and not buying that much, it's just that old mindset I have, and I need to get rid of it and live a little bit more relaxed and more luxury life. And that was the biggest trap. I bought this beautiful apartment which was a way bigger than what I needed, and I was feeling, now I see the point of what I'm doing. I see the point of this money. I see the point of all the effort I put and all this tiredness I experienced doing the job. At least I have something materialized which shows me that I succeeded in life. But my happiness lasted maybe for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks living in my apartment, I just got used to it, and I didn't feel like success and happiness and satisfaction anymore. Later, the crisis hit Europe, and the mortgage prices, they skyrocketed actually. Even the utility bills got much more expensive. So I ended up paying for this apartment almost double price from what I initially was paying. But I still held on and I didn't want to sell it. It was just the only thing I had, the result of all the efforts I made. I didn't want to lose it. I was holding on. I was so reluctant to sell, and only after a few years of basically paying almost double of what I could pay even for rental, I realized that this is not sustainable. I need to sell it. Then I sold it, and as you might guess, I lost a lot of money when I sold it because it just was more expensive than other apartments, and the monthly payment was also very high. Here in Sweden, it really depends on the economy of the house association, and in my house it wasn't great. That lesson I will never forget. What I learned is that it's not only that possessions do not make us happier, it's actually quite the opposite. They make us stressed about what if we lose our job, what if something happens, what if interest rates will go even more up. This apartment, I wasn't even noticing, but it was keeping me constantly stressed about losing my job, constantly stressed about future and not being able to pay for it. When I sold it, even though I lost money, I felt relief. I felt that I finally got out of this trap, and I can actually now think about my job, my career. I can maybe even take a leap if I want. I don't have anymore this, golden cage, as people name it. I am free. And that was probably the biggest paradox for me, because the whole life I was thinking that owning an apartment is something which will make me so much happier. I also want to add that this applies not only to possessions, as we often say, but it's not the material things, it's about experiences. Your life should be about experiences. What I noticed is that experiences can also be expensive and not that fulfilling. I want to give you an example of one summer where I went to 2 different destinations. One of these destinations was Iceland, a beautiful island, however with pretty bad climate, pretty rainy, windy and cold. It's such a popular tourist destination that I was thinking, wow, I definitely will enjoy this trip. And again, guys, I don't want to say anything bad about Iceland. It's just the price I paid, it was around 2,500 euros for that trip for a week, and shared a room with another girl. It's just the money I paid and the joy I felt being there. I don't think it was worth it, honestly. The second trip I took was my trip with my friend to Tallinn. It's very close to Stockholm. And I paid for that trip maybe 10 times less, but I enjoyed it so much more because I was spending time with my friend. That travel experience taught me that even vacations you can save up so much and enjoy much simpler trips so much more. If I want to summarize all these learnings, I want to say you guys that it's not about exterior, it's not about the apartment, how it looks, it's not about the country where you live, it's not about the destination you're going. This is all just the background of your life. The true meaning, the true happiness lies in what you do and with who you spend your life, not in the surroundings. And you can thrive in so much simpler place. Like now I moved to a studio apartment, And honestly, I can be happier. It's much less cleaning, it's much easier to take care of it, and it's so much cheaper. It's more than double cheaper than what I paid for my previous apartment. And as I already mentioned, it's the same applies to your hobbies and experiences. I might make a video about a cheap way of entertain yourself. And the biggest lesson is never sell your soul for money. Do what you enjoy. Don't do something just because it's well paid. My repetitive burnouts taught me that. As you might know from my previous video, now I'm considering quitting tech completely and doing something which I will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.